Okay, how's everyone doing? Okay, let's talk about the gospel casino. uh, Finds that some ministers use preaching about money. Uh, that it's like if you give money, that you're going to get money back, right? Uh, that's an erroneous way of thinking about that. Okay, so let's go in the origin of the tithe. The origin of the tithe is mentioned first in when Abraham uh, rescued Lot. He was kidnapped. Then he went to rescue him, and then the when he kicked butt to the people that took Lot, he took their possessions too. So then out of that, he went and gave a tithe to the king of Salem, Melchizedek. The Melchizedek was also a priest. Now, personally, I believe that Melchizedek was Jesus himself, because in the book of Hebrews it tells you that Melchizedek doesn't have origin, just like Jesus. So that's my personal opinion that Melchizedek and Jesus are the same, because he says that his priesthood is in the order of Melchizedek. Okay, Jacob made a decision and a promise to provide a tithe to God from everything that it was given to him. And that's in Genesis chapter 28, verse 22. And then there's a challenge to the believer in Malachi. Now, if you're a new believer and you see that the way it's spelled, you're going to say Malachi, like he's Italian. No, it's pronounced Malachi. Okay, in it's chapter 3. I'm going to start from 6 to 12. So it's chapter 6. It says, "For I am the Lord, I do not change. Therefore, you are not consumed, O sons of Jacob. Yet from the days of your fathers, and you have gone away from my ordinances, and have not kept them. Return to me, and I will return to you, says the Lord of hosts. But you said, in what way shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. But you say, in what way have we robbed you? In tithes and offerings. You are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out for you such a blessing that there will not be enough room to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, so that you will not destroy the fruit of your ground, nor shall the vine fail to bear fruit in your field, says the Lord of hosts. And the nations will call you blessed, for you will be a delightful land, says the Lord of hosts." Okay, so the promise is he's going to open the windows of heaven, and he's going to rebuke the devourer just by tithing. So now, when he mentions the nations are it's a people group. It's an ethnic group. That's when they call nations. Just like the indigenous people of the United States, the Indians. We call Indians, but because Columbus goofed. Uh, the they themselves says what nation you belong to, be it Sioux, Cherokee, all those Navajo, right? Like me, I'm a descendant of the Taino tribe. Very small percentage, but still a descendant. Uh, okay, now when it comes to attitude in giving, you can't brag about it. There's no bragging allowed. That's in Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. You have to be willingly. Give your tithe and offering willingly. That's in 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verses 3 through 9. There's more to that, but that's the first example that they give in 1 Chronicles chapter 29. Okay, you give cheerfully. Grudgingly, when you give grudgingly and cheerfully, it doesn't mesh. So you give willingly and cheerfully. That's in 2 Corinthians 9 through 7. Now, when you lend, right? It says you're lending to the Lord. It says the word, do not expect anything in return. You say, wait a minute, it's mine. You're supposed, lend. You're supposed to pay interest. No. That's in Luke chapter 6, verses 34 and 35. Okay, now, when you give, in Luke chapter 6, verse 38, that's where it says that it'll be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, running over, men will give unto your bosom. This is so that's the promise that there's a spring-loaded blessing coming your way. Now, there's a hindrance to that, because if you have unforgiveness, you haven't reconciled with another person, that's a hindrance to receiving your blessing. In Matthew chapter 25, verses 23 and 24, it tells you to leave your offering, go reconcile with your brother, and then once the reconciliation took place, then you come back and give your offering. Okay, now preachers who preach that money will be the harvest they're on a tightrope. The tightrope of 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10, where Paul, he describes the love of money being a root of evil. I mean, if your motivation is to get money, that's no. Paul also wrote that God will supply all of our needs according to his riches and glory. So, and that's in Philippians 4:19. So, be best assured, if you need something, God's going to provide it. So, I mean, now, if you're looking at your need is money, cool. You're gonna get what you need, because God is an on-time God. Now, your harvest could be in a different area. Remember, you're tithing and your offering. It says your harvest may be tied to your health, relationships with family, or whatever other need you may have. You don't have the connection with other people, with friends, other believers, in order to, because iron sharpens iron. So you challenge each other in friendship, through reading the Bible, whatever. So package all that, deposit that in your mind and heart, meditate on that. Because the gospel casino only works one way, and it's not all going to be money. There's other areas where the tithe is tied to. So meditate on that, people, and be blessed.